Michelle Dawn, and I'd like to give you a guided tour of the 2011 Ford Flex Titanium. As you may be aware, Ford is the official vehicle sponsor of the Discover Coaster to Coaster Tour, and I'm here to show you just exactly how cool this vehicle is. First thing I'd like to show you is just how stylish looking the Flex Titanium is. So you notice along the front, it's got the Flex name kind of embedded in the hood here along the front, and then it's got cool tires, cool wheels. It's kind of a longer car, but that's because it has lots of room inside. 4 doors, seats 6 people. One of the coolest features I think so far is the trunk, which opens automatically. I don't have a car that does this right now, and I would love for mine to do this. And if you look in the trunk really quick, it seats 6, but now we have the seats folded down so that we can pack all our bags in there, and there's plenty of room for our bags and maybe the extra goodies that we're going to pick up along the way at the sites we see. So we have plenty of room for all our stuff. Isn't that cool? It goes all by itself. The other thing I like about the Flex is the kind of the indents along the thing. It kind of keeps it from being a boring kind of car. It kind of looks cool. So you've seen the outside, now let's look inside the Flex. Now that we're inside the Flex, let's look at some of the features inside the car. It's got lots of good cup holders here. It's got a nice big dash, easy to see out of. It's got dual memory seats so that when Kurt drives, he can have his own presets, and then when I get in to drive, then I can push mine for mine. We don't have to do any adjustments or anything. Got nice cloth inserted leather seats, nice big dash, and in the back, tons and tons of leg room for the kids. That's one of the best things so far I've seen inside. Is that the boys, being teenagers and everything, are going to have lots of room. They're not going to be squished up back there, which is really good. We've got moon roofs all the way throughout. There's 4 altogether. So the boys can look out if they want to see or get extra light for their reading or their games. And then if it gets really nice on a drive, we can open them up and get some fresh air into the cabin. Alright, now I'm in the back seat where the boys are sitting, and if you can see right here, tons and tons of leg room. They're going to actually be able to kick back and enjoy the ride. They also have cup holders here. There's cup holders there. They've got air conditioning controls back here so they can have the temperature just the way they want it. They've also got outlets for their iPhones or their iPods or their games. And then in here is a nice console where they can keep some of their stuff stashed away, which will be good. And then of course, again, the moon roofs. Alright, now that we've checked in all the sitting features and the enjoyable comfy features, now we're going to look at the actual electronics of the Flex. When you turn it on, it has a nice little chime. Alright, so this Flex is totally state-of-the-art. You first start out on the home screen, which has the map of where you're at, your radio station information, and then it shows the little equalizer for your music. Then you can click through the different sections. If you wanted to do your home map, you can see exactly where you are. You can space it out so you can see like the area. You can get right down to your street. There we go, right where we live. Then you can go type in your destination. You can put in your route. You can type them in by address or points of interest. It'll tell you where the hospital is and the police stations, which some navigation systems don't have. And then you can enter either things by their address, or if you're looking for a restaurant, a particular restaurant, or a gas station or an ATM, you can find all of that on the navigation. Here it tells you can do your preferences. You can even tell it to avoid areas. If you know there's a bad part of town and you don't want to go through it, you can tell it that right there. Alright, so this Flex is totally state-of-the-art. You first start out on the home screen, which has the map of where you're at, your radio station information, and then it shows the little equalizer for your music. Then you can click through the different sections. If you wanted to do your home map, you can see exactly where you are. You can space it out so you can see like the area, you can get right down to your street. There we go, right where we live. Then you can go type in your destination. You can put in your route. You can type them in by address or points of interest. It'll tell you where the hospital is and police stations, which some navigation systems don't have. And then you can enter either things by their address, or if you're looking for a restaurant, a particular restaurant, or a gas station or an ATM, you can find all of that on the navigation. Here it tells you can do your preferences. You can even tell it to avoid areas. If you know there's a bad part of town and you don't want to go through it, you can tell it that right there. I don't know what this is. Do you turn it off? By pushing on the I button, that's the information button, this will tell you where you're at, GS coordinates or street address. You have all your Sirius travel information here. Weather. Oh, that's too cool. The weather. That'll tell you the weather wherever you're at, I bet. Then you can go back. It has a little calendar for you. Then it has all the system information on the car, numbers that you can call, map information, has your VIN number, everything that you'd need to know if something was wrong with the car. And then it's even got a help menu, so if you have questions about certain things, you can click on these and it'll tell you how to work the buttons, which is kind of cool. It saves from reading the manual. You've pressed phone. That hooks up to your iPhone or your BlackBerry or whatever kind of cell phone you have. The whole system is called Sync, powered by Microsoft, so it's really cool. You can text message, it's voice activated, call history, you can load phone numbers in it. It's very, very nice. And then last but not least, you can do all your climate controls on the screen. Change the temperature, change the airflow, and control the rear zone, so if you wanted. Of course, you can also do all of this with the dials down here too, just as whatever your preference is. Now the other thing I like about the Ford Flex is the instrument panel. It's really nice and easy to read. It's got blue lighting. Down here it's got a nice information center that you can scroll through on the dash. It tells you your average miles per hour, your miles per gallon that you're getting, how long you've been driving, your trip counters. It'll also tell you how far you go till empty, which is going to be very handy on our trip so that we can plan our gas station stops. If you notice on the steering wheel, I have all the controls for the cruise control and then all the controls for the media center. And then these two little things here I really like, paddle shifters. The Ford Flex has a manual driving mode that you can go into, so if you're going up a hill and you want more control over the gears of the car, you can shift with the paddle shifters up and down. So now you've seen a quick tour of the Ford Flex Titanium. Hopefully as we drive this baby across the country, hopefully about 4,000 miles altogether, we'll learn more about the car and be able to show you as we go, so you can make a decision in the future whether you might want to drive one. Have a good day.